Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Monster, episode 22.
Alright, so there has been a murder.
Messner's partner, Michael, is dead, probably.
Yeah.
Like, if she can get him to a hospital really quickly, then maybe
fantastic.
he will be, like, hospitalized for a very long time.
Yeah, but that didn't seem to be what they were
it
going
looked like the
towards.
gun wound was extremely large. He lost a lot of blood.
Yep.
Even if, he gets to a hospital, his organs are all going to be messed up.
Right, and also there's the whole idea of, like, wait, why were you shot? And Roberto, because he's still probably at the house with his family and all that.
Yep.
And,
or not, depending on how that whole thing goes.
Right.
The other thing that's important is that we know where Johann is, that he's in Munich. He's being watched over by another creepy organization that sees him maybe as something more like an instrument that can be used rather than a leader, like someone that can be
that's going to
maybe
turn out much better.
manipulated or at the very least kind of guided. I think that actually is something that could work. I know Johann's a freak of nature, a monster, if you will, and genius level intelligence, so it might not work, but I think if anyone was to try and manipulate Johann, you'd want to do it from a very safe distance, and you'd want to try and introduce factors that he wouldn't realize are manipulations. But by doing so, you'd essentially be feeding like people to a beast. You'd be basically just sending in dead people consistently. So who knows how that's going to work out.
knows?
But we know where Johann is if they were telling the truth.
That's right.
And
so that could be Anna's next step.
yeah,
maybe?
Anna is getting away out of this probably okay.
Hopefully,
So at the very least, she might know. And if she ends up going to Johann, things can get a little bit interesting.
Who knows?
So I'm ready for some exciting stuff. So without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, well, he's dead. Yeah. Two bodies. No, wait, these are
Wait. No, this
is something completely different, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
殺害されたヨップ夫妻も子供がいないそうですね。
連邦捜査局から担当捜査官も来るそうじゃないですか。
Ooh, yes, Lunge.
And Ava, hopefully.
Probably.
こりゃその連邦捜査局の捜査官にすみません。
Lunge.
ハンブルクタークのキッパーと言います。
He just registered that name into his long-term
一言
memory.
お願いしますよ。
まさにその通り。今回の事件は連続中年夫婦殺人の一つだ。
やっぱり。どうも。
ちょっと待ちたまえ。
はい。
ハンブルクタークというのはここの有力紙だね。当然君の記事はドイツ全州の有力紙にも流れるというわけだ。
もちろんですよ。ご協力ありがとうございます。
私は犯人だ。
Cool. He's gonna get in the head
私
of
は
the
犯人
person.
だ。私は今犯人になりきっている。ノックをするか。ああ、ここはヨップ夫妻に警戒されないのが一番だ。
I like this.
Okay.
数分後に主人はあそこの床で絶命する。
Dang.
だが私はまだ行動を開始してはいない。ということはそろそろ私は行動を開始しなければならない。ナイフを取り出し慌てて立ち上がろうとする主人を一突き。おっと潜んじた。妻は最近耳が遠くなっている。そう、私はそれを知っているんだ。騒げ、泣き叫べ。妻はお前をやった後で始末できる。追い詰めた。主人の左手の後、このサイドボードの前で私は主人を追い詰めた。主人の絶命した床まで5メートル。なぜだ。なぜ私はここでとどめを刺さない。
Whoa.
That is,
That's
okay,
very
that's a good point.
curious.
The base is all knocked over and everything.
No, sees
but-
himself.
この
The
この
whole act
男がヨッ
of
プ夫妻を殺したん
seeing
ですか。
yourself in the mirror.
いえ、
Okay.
What
そういうわ
you're
けではない
doing.
です。
Gotcha.
ちょっとご近
Especially
所
if
の
it's
皆さん
someone
に
under
お
the
願いしているだけ
control
です。
of
こ
Johann.
の男が現れた
sure.
ら
Yeah, I
ご
could
く
definitely
自然
see
に
that.
接してください。そして速やかに私に連絡をする。
奥様、 毎朝声をかけるといつも明るく挨拶
That's
して。
really smart.
That
Lung.
is
声をか
very
ける
smart.
とあの奥さん1年ほど前から耳が遠くなっていたんですがね。
まさか。
いやー
Curious,
立派な会
curious,
社でいらっしゃる
curious.
Yes.
その若さでここまで躍進されるとは並大抵のことではありませんよ、ジーベルさん。
Mr.
いや
Siegel.
たまたま契約を結んだメーカーの車が好調だっただけですよ。
この度はおじさまおばさまのご不幸、心からお悔やみ申し上げます。
Family, gotcha.
え
Okay.
親戚といえばもうおじおばしかいませんでしたからね。犯人は
Someone that
捕ま
would
るんでし
know
ょうね。
about the family's
ほぼ断定しています。
specific
や
things
は
and
り
stuff.
例の日本人の元医者。
これはお詳しい。
And he's
そりゃそうです
luring
以
Tenma
前に
in,
これとよく似た事件があ
even
り
though
ました
he
からね。
knows it's probably not
遺
Tenma.
産はどのくらいになりますかね。
Yeah, yeah, I knew it. Yep.
ヨップ氏はあれだけの資産家でらしたので。
それが何か事件に関係あるんですか？
遺産の相続人はやはりあなた。
Yep.
あなたは犯人じゃありませんよ。そうでしょう。
どうなんです本当のところは。
I like this
あなた本当に
reporter.
連続中年夫婦殺人の一つと見ているんですか？うちの独占スクープで各紙みんな同じ論調になってるんですよ。もし一連の殺人事件と無関係なら大誤報ということになる。
君の言う通りだよ。模倣犯の仕業だよ。一連の事件に見せかけたね。
やっぱり
Oh.
すぐ記事の内容を変更しなくっちゃ。
いや、今のままでいい。
Whoa.
今のまま記事は連続中年夫婦殺人として書くんだ。キッパー君と言ったね。なんとも魅力的な女性じゃないか。温かい家庭、素敵な奥さんと娘さんがいるというのに、あんな魅力的な女性では
Dang.
浮気の虫がうずくのも無理からぬことかな。
Wow.
Whoa.
そうすれば必ず奴はやってくる。
He's here. Good grief, Lung, you
Oh,
genius.
boy.
ちょっと伺いたいことがあるんですが、
To the
So
Light
this
Yagami
guy.
School of
そんな素
Strategy.
敵なご夫婦でい
Can
らっしゃるんですが
practically predict the future.
お二人に里子がいたということはありませんでしたか？
いいえ、
ほんの短期間でもあまり見かけない子供と暮らしていたようなことは。
ありません。
今うちにいます。
そうですか。
You have
ご
done
協
well.
力あり
Thank
が
you
と
for
う
your
ございます。
cooperation. Yes.
あんた、私が犯人だと思ってるだろう。そうなんだろう。確かに私には今借金がいくらかある。彼らの残した財産は私をこのピンチから救ってくれるだろう。だがね、私はそんな人間じゃない。
そんなことでいらした。
Yeah, you came just to say that.
そんなこと。人を犯人扱いしておいて、そんなこととはなんだね。
ここの警察はあなたを白と踏んだ。それでいいじゃないですか。
The police
そ
here.
れじゃああなたはこの事件の犯人は誰だと思っているんだ。
None of your business.
事件の犯人。そんなものどうでもいいんです。
Whoa, yeah.
あの男を捕らえることができればね。
He's doing what
Saying
Lung
the same
did.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
子孫じた。
いわば一連の中年夫婦殺しの模倣犯というやつですか。
どうしてそんなことが言えるんだ。
一連の事件にはないものが今度の事件にはあるんだ。
Had the whole. Wait, am I a killer?
違う。
Yep.
感情があるんですよ。
Oh, emotion. Oh.
私が追っている
He's
男
shrinking
が
to
犯
the
した
side.
事件の現場は物取りの犯行に見せかけてはいるが全く感
Dang.
情が感じられないんですよ。
And that's, of course, why Lung is
とこ
so
ろが
interested in
今
them.
度の
Right.
現場ときたらなんとも感情が溢れている。ま、安心してください。ここの警察は脳なしですから。
Oh. He basically knows it's
Yeah,
him.
yeah, right, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
どう考えても、
Wow.
ヨハンの犯行を真似た模倣犯の仕業だ。
Dang, Lung. Oh my gosh.
い
He
つま
is
でこんなことが
cold.
続くんだ。
久しぶりですね。
Are we gonna have a chase?
やっと会えましたね。ドクター・テンマ。あなたとはゆっくり話がしたかった。
Oh my gosh.
A
This
nice long
this chat could be incredibly good.
もう逃げても無駄です。
He's stalking him, kind of like a predator. This is
it's like how Darth Vader never runs anywhere, you know.
Whoa, what? Oh my gosh! Did he kill him? No way! No way! Oh! Oh. Yeah, we know that. Oh, Lunge. It's like you got in my way. Oh my god!
The way, you know, the bags under his eyes and everything. Oh yeah, because he's been stabbed. That's right. And of course, Tenma's gonna save him. Oh,
Put your foot on the brakes. Yep. Okay.
銃を探しても無駄だ。あなたの銃は預かっている。
Dang.
そんなことより早く手錠の鍵を。このままじゃ手の施しようがない。血を止めなきゃあなた死ぬぞ。
No way.
自白しろ、ドクターテンマ。
Dang.
だと。
ヨハンなどこの世にいやしない。ヨハンはお前自身だ。
This plays in very well with the whole double personality theory thing with Johan.
なものはなかったが、応急処置に必要なものは探し出した。あとはこの手だ。
Yeah.
さえ自由になればあなたを助けることができる。
その手で何人を殺した。私に間違いなどない。
血圧の低下で意識が朦朧としているんだ。
人の生死を扱っていると感情がなくなるもんだな。
Oh my gosh.
私はいつも手術のたびミスはないだろうか。うまくやり遂げられるだろうか。私の手に人の生死がかかっているんだ。私の手に冷静でいられるわけがないだろう。あなたを助ける。その血を止める鍵はどこだ。あなたのズボンのポケットか。
Come on, Tenma. If you save him here.
Okay.
Oh, that shot. It's like they're being watched.
仕事をしている時より顔色がいいですよ。
どうもご心配おかけしました。
No way.
どうやら応急処置が完璧だったらしい。医者が言ってたよ。あの的確な処置がなかったら今頃命はなかったろ。
そんなに急いでリハビリされなくてもって言ってるんですが、もうボールを握られたり廊下を歩かれたり、なんだかとても楽しんだそうです。
楽しい？
ええ、よくおっしゃってますよ。こんな楽しいことはないって。なんて言いましたっけ、あの犯人。そうそう、天魔。天魔みたいな犯人を追うのは最高に楽しいって。
This was a very slow, boring episode. Nothing happened. Ugh, it was awful. It was awful. It was just...
Okay, you're bad at this, Jacob. Yeah. Come on. This was a fantastic episode. The whole thing was rife with Lunge's just
like psychopathic,
like insane, just
oh my God.
Like embodiment of the hunt.
Yeah.
So like when you see him going up to the house and he's like, I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. You actually can hear the voice actor like transitioning their voice into a more sinister sounding tone. Person. Like there were all these little moments where you could see essentially the monster coming forth in Lunge,
which makes it so ironic that he's the one tracking down Tenma.
Right.
And
and I love that bit where he's talking with Zeeble, and he's like, I don't care who the killer is. The cops here are incompetent. It's just like, oh my gosh, he knows and he doesn't care. Like there's a point where in this case the hunt for Tenma for Lunge has become kind of the same way that the hunt for Johan has become for Tenma. Tenma has held on to his semblance of sanity, but Lunge is no, he's gone.
He's going after Tenma the way a serial killer might go after a victim.
Right. It's something where he gets off on this whole hunt aspect of this now.
Yep.
Like the thing that they did with his eyes in this episode, there were a lot of specific moments where you're just like, them eyes are crazy.
The way they'll make them be like slits, but it'll also be like curved, so it looks like it'll be like
yeah, it looks sinister. I actually, in this episode, Lunge was crazy, right? He was going all the way for this.
Yes.
But I actually felt bad for him. I really did. There was a moment where you realized that the job, the loss of his family, all this stuff happened for him has left him really with this one thing. And he only has the one thing.
Well,
so he can't really let it not be the highest prioritized thing in his life.
Well, and did you notice how he was kind of projecting when he was talking to Tenma when he had Tenma at gunpoint? The whole thing of like constantly, dealing with lives, being in the balance and stuff.
Yep.
You end up becoming desensitized to it.
Right, because that's what he's had probably.
Exactly. Yeah. And because at some point he probably wasn't like this, because somehow he was able to convince his ex-wife to fall in love with him. So he wasn't probably always a, snake-like sociopath.
Well, he could have also been, at a different job when they met and fell in love and stuff. So that really doesn't have as much to do with it. It's more of that he lost her because of him being like this.
Right. Yep.
And the reason why he was like this seems to be in that he kind of threw everything else to the side. And this is just the most dramatic example of that, because now literally he has nothing left to throw to the side.
Yep. Hence why he will not accept any other explanation, even though, granted, there's no way for Tenma to actually be able to prove to him that, no, there is a person called Johan and he's doing this short of...
Well, that's why he has to find Johan.
Exactly.
So, did you notice how the other cops, the other detectives were like, wow, he looks better than even when he was on the case. Like, he looks better than ever before. It's that when he was on the case, he looked, like, unwell. He looked physically unwell.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing of where you kind of let the monster essentially take over you. It actually does ruin your... Like, people can perceive it physically on you.
Right.
It's something I liked that was a very small attention to detail in that him being this close to death and having survived it, he looks better than ever before when he was healthy.
Right.
In a, like... Just, I hadn't got stabbed, 6 hours prior or something like that.
And the way they made it so that they used him getting stabbed as a way to sort of show the inner sides of Lunge be basically portrayed physically. With the whole thing of him, getting the gray bags under his eyes and stuff, and just all of that. Oh boy.
The trap was genius.
The trap was amazing.
The trap was sickeningly genius.
Yeah, like that was
playing
some
the
next
reporter,
level play of the game type
playing
stuff.
the neighbor. It's the kind of stuff where you go, whoa, Lunge is not just like good at this. He is amazing at this.
Yeah.
Because on some level, we don't know how long he would have had to wait, but because he knew that this reporter would circulate the story to newspapers across the country within a certain number of days or weeks.
Yep.
He's like, I don't have to wait long, depending on Tenma being still in the country, which is a very high possibility.
Yeah.
Because Tenma is investigating Johan, and these murders are still happening. But that just shows a level at which Lunge has kind of fallen into. He is willing to play with other people's lives and deaths in order to have the opportunity to talk with a person.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even necessarily, I think, want to...
I think we're destined to do this forever.
Well,
That
yeah,
kind of
that's the problem, is that I don't think he's actually interested in finding out the truth. It feels like there's at least two parts to this. One, he enjoys the hunt, so he's just doing this
Right.
way. The other part is that he wants his dogged pursuit to have been justified by the end of all of this.
Right.
And there might be some small part in him that rationalizes that as being his redemption, in that all these things that I do will be worthwhile if I am proven right by the end of this, because everyone else doubted me. Everyone else was like, no, you should give this up. And he's like, but I stopped Tenma. I stopped this ruthless serial murderer. So maybe he needs Tenma to confess. He needs Tenma to tell him that he was right, that all of this was justified, because if not, then he will truly snap. Like, this is him not fully snapped yet, because he didn't just shoot Tenma's kneecaps off.
Sure, yes.
You know.
You complete me.
Well, like, that's... Yeah. That whole bit with Zeeble, though, like, showing up and stabbing him was just the most brilliant twist.
I loved it, yeah.
I was, how did we not see that coming?
Because it's the idea that, like, and I can almost, like, see inside Lunge's mind where he's like, this is stupid. You're being stupid. Why would you do something so
I gave you
stupid?
an out.
I gave you an out. I said I didn't care. Like, why didn't you just take that
emotion?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he's just like, you're in my way.
Like,
and I was just like,
I couldn't believe he actually didn't clue into that, because the guy came all the way down to the police station
to say
it wasn't me.
I may have been in debt and used it in the money that I inherited to pay it off, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, this guy had really been broken by the whole act of killing his aunt and uncle. Like, it got to him big time. So he was already emotionally out of whack before the killing, and then after the killing, his emotions are all crazy. He's making all kinds of stupid decisions.
Right.
And then he's like, by the way, I know it's you, but we're cool, dude. And I don't care. And the cops here are so stupid, you'll get away with it anyway.
And Lung specifically said, the one thing that separated this one from the other actual serial killings was emotion. There was just emotion everywhere.
All over it.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where, like, the really smart person can also be really dumb,
because they're like a horse with blinders on.
Exactly,
they're only looking at the thing directly in front of them.
Point.
Yeah. So I like that Lung's strength was his greatest weakness in this regard, because he
misapplied it.
Yeah, he misapplied it. Yeah, that's a great thing. Weakness is just misapplied strength.
Right.
So yeah, like Lung, you got lucky. You got lucky that he actually showed up, because you could have, waited at the house. The guy just shows up and stabs him.
Oh, yeah.
Tenma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even worse, Tenma shows up, saves you, and you have to be like, oh, crap, Tenma's here saving me, and maybe be conscious for it, but unable to do anything. And then Tenma leaves, and you don't get to talk to him at all.
I wonder if, on some level... the act of bringing up Lung's storyline in this episode, when we had this previous bit of Johan's duplicity, his potential schizophrenia, his dual personality kind of thing, being somewhat tied to this, like, and having it be somewhat inferring that we aren't supposed to kind of look at things just as they appear on the surface. We need to look deeper. Because I've been thinking about the fact that they brought up that big mother of a plot twist, like, forever ago, however long that episode was ago, like 5 episodes, 6 episodes.
Something like that.
And they haven't brought up anything else into it.
Right.
It would feel like the kind of development that they'd want to reinforce a little bit.
Yes.
So the longer we go without reinforcing it, the more and more the presence of the theory gets kind of questioned in my mind as like...
You would see that... You don't think there's been any reinforcement of it?
For Johan? No, we
like,
haven't had any direct interaction with Johann for a long time.
No, but like the episodes have revolved around the theme of like duplicity. And all that stuff.
And that's why I think that in actuality, whenever they bring up the theme of the duplicity, the duality, it's not so simple. It's not so cut and dry.
Gotcha.
It's not something as obvious. So, especially in this episode. So I think in actuality, yes, they are bringing it up, but they're not reinforcing it. If anything, they're slightly weakening it. Like say the theory was like 90% strong when we first got it. So I'm like very certain. I'm like, yes, 90%. I'm not like 78%, and I'm noticing that 12% difference, and I'm like,
right, because one of the things that Monster seems to not really like to do, which I totally get, is resolving questions and answering them, because the mysteries can be a lot more exciting than the actual answer. So the fact that they brought up the whole split personality thing seems like it was more for the added mystery element, which might be exactly what Johann was going for, just to make them be more unsure of themselves. Than to actually have that question be answered.
Right. So I'm waiting for basically a reinforcing side of it with some kind of at least 2 degrees of separation interaction with Johann. Like none of this like we're going to play up that this was Johann.
Well, we got 2 degrees of separation in that one episode with the murderer, with the glasses. He was pen pals with Johann.
Okay, then 1 degree of separation then.
All right. Wait. Oh no, that would be 1 degree of separation. Or wait, no. Hold on a second. I'm confused.
I'm confused now. Okay, point is, I want more interaction with Johann so that I can help kind of get more fuel to the theory on either side.
Have it be less just theorizing about general philosophical stuff and more of like, okay, concretely, we're dealing with Johann. Is this a thing?
Right, and I don't need it to be either one. Like both of them.
You just want it to be addressed?
I just want it to be readdressed.
Gotcha.
But what they're doing now is they're addressing it via themes. And Monster lives and dies by its themes because they're so dang good.
Right.
Which means I have to take the themes as a little bit more literal, in my opinion, when I'm coming up with theories than just suppositional.
Right. The idea that since we haven't seen Johann in so long, that these themes that they're working are directly tying into Johann.
Right.
Exactly.
And the creator, the writer, is intentionally bringing these themes up so that they tie in well with what is coming up and what has
to provide us
been
better understanding,
been revealed thus far.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am not as certain as before about Johann's duplicity.
Yeah. A part of me was wondering I don't think this would happen because I think Lunge is, for all his insanity, he seems too stable in his insanity for this to happen, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But I was wondering if he was going to start developing a split personality. Because the whole thing of him stepping into the shoes of the killer and all that and being okay, I am the murderer and stuff, and the way he was acting around Tenma and all that, I don't think it's going to happen because he doesn't really have anything else,
Right.
So there's nothing for him to change back to.
There is some defunct aspects of his personality coming to bear here.
Right.
There's some problems.
Yes,
absolutely. I'm sure that it would take a while before full on,
I'm seeing kind of
dissociative whatever.
What was it? You remember in Les Mis how there's the whole idea of Javier or
Javier?
Yeah.
Javier, yeah.
And he's tracking down the main guy.
Right.
And there comes the point where he actually lets him go or whatever.
Right.
And then he has that whole crisis because he's what did I just do? This was my whole life, and then he kills himself.
Yeah.
I kind of see something like that with Lunge.
Whoa, that's true.
Because what if Lunge actually found out at some point that, say, Johann, did exist or whatever?
Well, that would actually be a really poetic thing for this, is he comes face to face with Johann.
And Johann kills him?
Well, no. Johann just gives him a gun and walks away.
Oh, yes.
And he and in his mind he's like, you can't be real. Like he's staring at the monsters,
and
like,
then
he can't be real.
And then he basically
he
convinces himself that he's crazy,
right?
And then he kills himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
Isn't
be
that just
that
twisted?
would be such sick, twisted genius. It would be amazing.
Man.
I hope that happens. That would be so sad.
But that would take a while to happen.
That would take a while.
The reason why I like the theory is not because of the way it ends, but because it insinuates that we could get at least another 20 episodes of Lunge.
Right.
Because
right.
I love Lunge.
Yeah, Lunge he's awesome.
Now, to be fair, 20 episodes of Monster doesn't mean we'll get Lunge in 20 episodes.
That's right,
those,
because when was the last time we got Lunge in an episode? That was
a while ago.
That was almost 10 episodes. I think.
Was a while.
Yeah, because I think it was episode 13. That was the Lunge and Ava episode, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, that is crazy. That's how good Monster is. It can do these episodic stories that don't have anything to do with the main plot, and then bring these characters back that, for all intents and purposes, we haven't seen in forever. That would make them like the barest of side characters in a lesser show.
It's really crazy because I think about the show from like what you're saying with that kind of long form storytelling and such, and I really want to see a condensed version of this story for like repeat viewing. Sure. But in a lot of ways, it disheartens me about the idea of repeat viewing for Monster. I hope it doesn't, because I think the themes make it repeatable.
Right. Like you probably could do something where you extracted just like the main plot kind of episodes, you know, and just rewatch those. But
the Johan episodes.
Yeah, but you'd be missing out on so much.
Yeah.
Like not just quality wise, but quantity wise, because the amount that Johan's actually in is very small.
Yeah, if any of you watching this are on the Discord, just let me know at some point if Monster is a show that you have rewatched. Just like if you were willing to rewatch it. You don't tell me why, of course, but like that kind of thing, it just gets me curious because Monster isn't really a thriller anymore. Like this is something that's something to just to note about where Monster started. It was a thriller,
right?
Absolutely,
a slow burn thriller, but it was definitely a thriller.
It had stingers. It had like cliffhangers. It had high pitched, intense music.
Yep.
It had a killing like every episode that revolved around a serial killer. Now there might be a killing every episode. Or most every episode, but it's more along the lines of a grand journey story of kind of discovery and exploration of the human psyche, or something,
something like that.
Yeah, it almost feels like a psychology show more than a thriller show.
I could see that.
Like it's going into like specific people with extreme kind of environmental circumstances that
as a way to represent
the monster and that whole thing. So good stuff.
Very good stuff.
I really like Lunge. I'm really glad he's alive. I was really scared they were gonna kill him off there. Yeah. Because that would be a really poetic way for him to go. Is that he's so dogged, focused on finding Tenma that he misses the obvious thing behind him.
And what's crazy is that if they had done that, then that would make us think that they would do something where they'd introduce some new character that wouldn't be another Lunge, but would basically be some
Ava.
other kind of at that point they would like bring Ava in, and Ava would be the replacement for Lunge or something.
Ava P.I. She gets her hands on like a really overly large gun, thinking like, I'm gonna blow Tenma's head off with this thing.
Well, now this is going into like that would be amazing, and I could totally
stupid.
That would be so stupid, but I could so see it happening in like some over the top comedy series.
Well, in a comedy, but I'm more of trying to poke fun at the idea that Anna had kind of a very weak handgun, with her whole little extremely short range with four bullets and stuff. It's like really tiny, so there's like no recoil or anything. And then of course, when Ava comes to grab a gun, she's all, I am hoity-toity rich and I get things done when I want to get things done.
Tank
and
rifle.
she gets like,
Like, I'm thinking like Helsing abridged. Like,
well, no,
like
I'm just thinking like 50 caliber, like just a big
50 caliber.
Yeah. Not a rifle. I'm talking about a pistol, like a pistol,
okay,
50
gotcha.
caliber pistol.
I was thinking a 50 caliber rifle.
That's
an anti-vehicle.
No, no.
Shoot out the engine.
But she just grabs it. And
Tenma,
she's
you
like,
will be sorry.
She's like, she goes to the guy with the gun training thing, and she's like, bam, like knocks off her feet, but she turns into like this really grizzled, like hardened psycho. Yeah. And this guy's just like, I'm surrounded by idiots. Anyways, that would be Monster the comedy, not this show. So, anyways, guys, this was a lot of fun, really scary kind of episode to see Lunge in this state. Right. So we're looking forward to where he is in the future, because that will be very
Hopefully
entertaining.
that means an alliance with Ava.
Yeah, we'll see. Only so much crazy can keep them all from just killing each other, So if you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us about whatever. Yeah. And if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.